Hey, it's John again to play Immaculate Grid, playing grid number 421 this evening, which is the number of career doubles by Misters Carlton Fisk, who's in the Hall of Fame, and Moisalu, who's not in the Hall of Fame, but man, he was a problem back in the day. When I watched my first season really following baseball was 1997, and so I saw Alou play in that World Series with Florida against Cleveland. He had a couple home runs in that series. Then less than a month later he was traded over to the Astros, and the Brewers moved to the National League Central where they would face the Astros. Um, so Lou was in the NL Central, starting with my first year following the Brewers in the National League, and then for several years thereafter between the Astros and the Cubs. And man, he was a problem in that NL Central. He was tough to deal with. I think he finished third in the MVP voting in '98, if memory serves me correctly. He was on a team with Biggio and Bagwell. He was probably the most feared hitter for a couple of those years there in Houston. So anyway, let's get into it. Let's share the screen and we'll play grid number 421. So I'm going to hit enter and go. And we got the Brewers. So let's go, Henry Aaron. It's Dante Bichette. Let's go, Braun. Let's see with these teams. Bartolo Colon. Let's see how he does. 5%. Kyle Schwarber hits these teams. Harper certainly won a Silver Slugger. All right, let's go McGriff for first baseman here. Let's grab Mo Vaughn here. And we'll grab Frank Thomas here. There we go. 46 seconds or so with a 139 rarity score. Marquise Grissom, former Brewer, leading the way here. I might have been able to go all Brewers, maybe. I don't know. National Silver Slugger probably would have gotten me unless Grissom snuck in one of those. Um, let's see. So Yelich did better than Braun. Jackie Bradley Jr. leading the way here. Aaron leading the way here. That's cool. No huge surprises here. So I got, I guess, two of the main ones. I really should have gotten Marquise Grissom. I could have gotten a third Brewer in there. Oh well. All right, so we'll do a stop and reset, stop share and reshare. And we'll find grid 419 there. Do this and we're there. All right. So starting with the Brewers, I think for Silver Slugger, the optimal move is still Giovanni Gallardo for a pitching Silver Slugger in 2010. Brewers had three Silver Sluggers that year, finished below 500, but had Gallardo, Braun, and Weeks all won uh, Silver Sluggers that year. Of course, when the pitcher Silver Slugger, that's not really a huge indicator of team success. 1%. All right. Over here, I like Ed Romero, 80s player. Let's see how he does. Sub 1. And then how do we feel about Danny Cobb? All right, so sub 1 on these two. Maybe I could have gone more rare. I don't know. Rick Cerrone would work for both of these. Charlie O'Brien would have worked over here. So there were options. Maybe O'Brien works here or Cerrone. I'm trying to remember what Cerrone's teams all were. I know he hits the Mets and the Braves. I think he hits the Red Sox and the Yankees and Blue Jays. I'm not sure on that one, on the Nationals. I foresee Otis Nixon being fairly popular here. I'm going to take a slight gamble and put him here. So he takes another 0.4%. So I've got three of those. It's a gamble because I'm trying to come up with someone more rare for Braves and Nationals. So we'll see if I can pull that off. Trying to remember if I had someone really good for the Nationals / Expos. figure Gary Carter gets in there. Andre Dawson probably gets in there. Tim Raines gets in there. I think I messed up. I don't know if it was live or maybe if it was even crossover grid or something, but I think Tim Wallach didn't win Silver Slugger in 1987, even though he had a bunch of RBI. I think actually Mike Schmidt won that Silver Slugger. I'll always go back and check, but I believe that is the case. I'm trying to think of any pitchers who won it, but I'm not coming up with anyone. So with that in mind, we can switch over here. Also, Otis Nixon, he's better known with the Braves. He played in a couple World Series with the Braves. He actually ended with the Braves in 1999. So, um, I think that's the worst team to play him with. I think Boston, Montreal, that's a decent combo though. He only played for each of those teams for I think about a year. Um, so yeah, I feel good about coming over here to Atlanta. First baseman. First baseman at some point. Um, maybe Sid Bream. That be decently rare. I go Brian Hunter. Just have to make sure. I think it's just the one that started earlier is the Brian Hunter that was a slow-footed first baseman as opposed to this Brian Hunter who was a speedster who stole over 70 bases. But I think this Brian Hunter will work. Also takes 0.4. Look at my consistency here. All right. And then for okay, so I could have gone Tony Perez here. I think I'm gonna go Tony Perez here as well. Loretta played a lot of first base with the Brewers. He would have worked here. I wonder if he works here. Um, 'Cause you get a period of Mo Vaughn. What about Brian Daubach? That was a name for a little bit. You pretty much roll from there to Kevin Millar. Uh, Millar pretty much rolls into Euclid. I don't know if there's a gap there. Euclid, Adrian Gonzalez for a year and a half or so. Napoli would work. But if we want to go, and Jimmy Fox would work too. So that's a name to keep in the back of the mind. Um, Walt Trappa overplayed first base. Yastrzemski played a lot of first base. Bill Buckner played first base. Probably not going to go with him. How about former Milwaukee Brewers great Cecil Cooper? Takes a full percentage. Interesting. I think I thought he was going to be low and just anything would have been drawn over here because he played with both teams, as did George Scott, for whom he was traded. Um, so 1% is actually a little higher than I would have expected, but and I also am kind of regretting I didn't hold on to Cooper for down here because he would have been a pretty solid pick. How about this? How about I'm gonna try out Mike Stanley because I know you want a catching Silver Slugger and played some first base. So that's a pretty low one. 0.02. Doesn't even get a face, I guess, or maybe it's just my computer's not picking it up. All right, Nationals or Expos. It would be weird if Gary Carter didn't win one. It seems to me Gary Carter, Andre Dawson, and Tim Raines all probably won Silver Sluggers. I'm not actually 100% sure on Vladimir Guerrero, just because it was so stacked. I mean, he's playing full seasons in Montreal from basically 98 to 03. 04 is his first year with the Angels, and he wins MVP. So he certainly won Silver Sluggers with the Angels. But in that 98 to 03 period, when he's excellent, he's competing against Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, Larry Walker, Jim Edmonds, just Greg Vaughn, even in his first year or two. I think he might have just been boxed out of winning Silver Sluggers, so I don't know that Guerrero works. We got Harper. I suspect Rendon works. Daniel Murphy will work, I think, for 2016. Although DJ LeMahieu actually won the Silver Slugger that year, but I'm pretty sure Murphy was second in the MVP voting. I think it would have had to be him. That's an interesting one. Do I go with recency or Hall of Famer? I think I'm going to go with Gary Carter. 6%. Okay. I'll have to check the numbers on that. I didn't see it before. See if that was a good pick. All right, and then finalizing with Atlanta and Washington or Montreal. Galarraga, I think he'll be several percent if I had to guess. I don't know if I want to go with that one. Unless I can't come up with anyone else. Don't think Jose Batista ever played with the Nats. Oh, Dennis Martinez was ever so briefly a Brave at the very end, like 98, 99 time frame. Let's sneak him in here. Would have been 98. 2%, full 2%. Okay. And there were 24 options for Silver Slugger, so I did not pick the best one. Let's take a look. Let's see who all these people are. Is it? So you got, oh, Strasburg won. Wilson Ramos, LaRoche. I would have been right about Murphy, Rendon, Zimmerman. I did not say Zimmerman or Desmond. Soto should surprise no one. Forgot about Alfonso Soriano's 2006 season. Again, the most forgettable 40-40 season of all time. And then I'm already seeing Vidro on there. Levon Hernandez. That's a great baseball player. Guerrero did win a couple, three actually. Moise Alou getting in there. Will Cordero, 1994 season over at shortstop. Tim Wallach did win. Okay, I was misremembering something. Wallach did win those Silver Sluggers. I had convinced myself he hadn't. Al Oliver in there. Sorry about Dawson Raines and Carter, but I definitely should have gone with either Levon Hernandez as a pitcher, Andres Galarraga. I think I did know that, and I actually was even thinking of him when because Atlanta and Montreal. That might be a good one. Hubie Brooks. Let's save that one for a future time. 80 games, 340 batting average. Fascinating. All right. Well, I definitely could have done better on certainly on that Silver Slugger category. But in any case, thank you so much for playing. Once again, lots of fun. And I'll be back at it later. Peace.